We didn't even do the intro.
We're about to do the intro. We
Ah!
just hit record. Good morning, everybody. We are Rantable. This is the funny channel. My name's Andrew. This is Charlie.
What?
Today, we're going to talk about something that's been sweeping through America, going through families, just wrecking homes and destroying people. And today, it's to talk about something that has got to stop in America. Ow! It's the circle game. And many of you are surely not familiar with. Don't put your line in my circle. I'm sure many of you are not familiar with the circle game. So for those of you who are not, the way it works is most people know it as put the circle underneath the waist. You get somebody to look at it.
Right there.
Anywhere below the waist. Just not right there. Put your knee down, please. But if
Jesus Christ, it's hot there.
Yeah.
How are you wearing that still?
I basically live in a jacket. It's like my comfort blanket. Yeah. It's cozy. Anyway, yeah. So, basically how it works is your friend does the OK sign. From where I come from, it could be anywhere. Some people know it's just below the waist. And if you look at it, there's certain consequences. The whole point of the game is to get somebody to look at it so many times. Usually it's until the other person is satisfied, really. But personally, I think it's a blast. I love it. Charlie, what do you think?
It's kind of stupid.
It's kind of stupid, yeah. That's why it's so entertaining. People like myself, I have ADHD, so the constant doing this in a big crowd of people, when you're like at the mall, man, what's that on your screen right there? It looks like a crack. What, really? Yeah, right there. It's really funny. Try it sometime. I didn't tell you. No, that's not a circle. Charlie, that's not a circle.
This is a kid's show.
I know. But yeah. So, my opinion, yeah, it's a little annoying, but it's entertaining. It's definitely entertaining.
I get to punch him, so I'm happy.
Yeah. It brings violence. I mean, of course, that would be a problem with some people who are
Andrew.
hippies.
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew, yeah.
Andrew.
I'm not looking at that.
Why not?
No.
Come on, Andrew.
I don't want to.
You know you wanna.
No! Put it down!
It's a circle.
It's not a circle!
It's a circle.
So anyway, quit doing that. Ow. What was that for?
He looks.
You're flipping the whole Anyway,
I don't know what you're talking about.
but
He's
yeah,
mentally
so
insane. He can't. He
probably.
can't see straight.
So then I didn't see anything.
Exactly. Like the penguins in Madagascar.
Yeah.
You didn't see anything.
Smiling way, boys. Smiling way. So, honestly, it's not that big of a topic to discuss on Rantable. It's not something that's really sweeping the nation. Something that I think has really affected us as a country, though, is the constant fatalities from these known weapons, these assault rifles that have been really hurting children and mass murdering abortion clinics, and by that I mean killing abortionists and causing abortions. I mean, these things basically are abortion-seeking missiles. All jokes aside, really. Gun control. It's retarded. I mean, there are some kids who get shot carrying something like this. It's a Nerf gun. But what about Nerf gun control? There are kids who get shot with this. So Charlie, if I was a police officer
I'd shoot you.
and I had this in my
Not
hands.
because you're police, because it's you.
Yeah, but
I have respect for the police.
yeah,
No.
police are awesome. That's why they don't carry around Nerf. Though Nerf plastic is very strong.
We tried to break through it with a freaking sledgehammer. It didn't work.
Yeah, we tried breaking it with a ball peen hammer and a screwdriver, which we still have laying around here, and we'll probably get it out at a later video. And we tried breaking through just a thin piece of Nerf plastic in a air limiter for to modify it, allowing the dart to faster and get harder. But we found out that it wasn't as easy as it looked in a different video, so we decided to try to shove a screwdriver through it, and it did not want to budge. So it was really freaking strong. So I think that for Nerf gun control, there should be a certain barrel size and a certain size.
It shouldn't be any bigger than this.
Yeah. Like you can't even have this. Like that. Like it can still shoot.
That is a lethal weapon.
That is a lethal weepon. You cannot use it, especially in the state of Russia. But like, see, like it's stuck to his finger. Like you're not gonna kill somebody with it stuck to your finger. That's not gonna happen. Like you walk into you rob a bank, Charlie. You walk in here, you robbing me. Give me all your money. Oh wait, I'm not afraid of you. Stuck to your finger, dude.
I have problems.
Like, did you go home and like recite that in the mirror? Like, all right, I'm gonna take my gun.
It came off.
And I'm gonna put it on my hand, and I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, "Give me all your money," and I'm gonna pull up, say, "No, it's just a." Oh, there we go. Thank you. So like that's, I think that would be illegal, but like something like this couldn't be. It looks too much like a gun. Like if I pointed this at you, you'd probably pee. Oh, sorry. You probably did. I'm sorry, everybody. Charlie, I'd like to apologize.
I'm sorry.
They're not afraid of you, Charlie. That's not a gun. That's probably a gun, but that's not a gun.
I have an imagination.
This is definitely a gun, but that's not a gun.
I have an imagination. It'll work.
Sure. No, Charlie. We don't promote suicide on this channel. So anyway, so Nerf gun control. It's a serious issue.
We're not really supporting that.
No, in fact, I say bigger Nerf guns and smaller Nerf gun control. I should be able to... Nope, I can't say that. Here, Charlie, you take this from me before I hurt somebody. So on the next topic, something that has really been sweeping the nation, something that has really been bugging millions of children out there, causing people to really scream and throw their computers or gaming consoles out the window and make their mothers buy them new Xbox 360s and PCs for like $800.
Lads and lasses, we are talking about the dearest matter of them all. Game physics.
Game physics. What's that for? Game physics. Stop it. No, quit. Game physics, as everybody knows, is when you want to do something that logically makes sense, like, oh,
I
look.
want to air drop kick a zombie 10 feet through. That way.
Yeah, like in Dying Light, how you can sprint toward a zombie and then jump and then do a dive kick bomb, or however the crap you're supposed to call it. The big retarded side plank that you go stiff in the air from having terrible syphilis.
6-inch punch.
That's basically what happens.
Except with your feet.
Yeah, and like you kick them in the face, but somehow their feet come up off the ground and go flying that way.
You would have to weigh like 900 pounds.
Yeah, there's no way that you would be able to even generate enough kinetic energy and then hit them in that area, because you jump and then go sideways. So you're straight, you jump, and then you turn this way, and you hit the target.
Anything is possible. All you have to do is imagine you're an arrow.
Yeah.
You will glide through air like butter.
But like the only way you could do that is if you hit them near the middle, and even still, it would just be enough to just make them fall over. It wouldn't be enough to just pick them. It picks them up and throws them up like an arc, like you threw a ball, and then they land. That makes no sense.
You glide better. You glide through like penis through lubricant.
I'm glad of all the things that you could have referenced to. You had to use penis and lubricant. Not like pen and paper. Not like pencil and pencil sharpener. And definitely not like hot dog and microwave. No, or even hot dog and hot dog bun. You had to use penis and lubricant. There goes our mic.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's getting kind of wild in here at Rantable. Boy.
You don't have to make it sound good.
I'm not. There was... I mean, you can go now. Quick, through the window! So, are you done yet?
One more.
Does that make you feel better?
No.
You're just waiting to get out of the shot, aren't you?
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, so, game physics. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. You get out there, and you're playing Splinter Cell Blacklist on your Xbox 360, which is something you never hear anymore because Xbox 360 is dead. Rip Xbox 360. Hats off for Xbox 360.
I'm sorry, I don't give it that much respect.
It was a great console, though. I mean, now that they've tweaked around Xbox One and they've made it all polished and pretty and made the finishing touches, and they're not so terrible, and they're kind of for the crowd instead of away from it, like they were with another gaming console, PlayStation. No, okay. Yeah, Xbox One, they did a really good job. The Xbox 360, I grew up on. I loved Xbox 360.
PlayStation 2.
I didn't necessarily grow up on
For
it.
those of you that are old enough to remember.
Yeah, like me. I grew up actually on PlayStation 2. I remember when they'd come with the memory cards. Like, in every once in a while you could buy a game, and the game was pretty big. So to keep players from continuously playing games, you'd have a memory card in the box, in the case, and you'd open it up and you'd throw the disc in there,
like
and you can pull the memory card out. And if you're starting to get too much space, or I should say you're not getting enough space, then you can pull a memory card out that you're not using currently, kind of like a USB on your Xbox 360, and you throw it in there. Anyway, so you're playing Splinter Cell Blacklist on your Xbox 360 or whatever the crap you use, and you come up to a window, and I think we should act it out for him. Okay. So I'll play Fisher, and you'll be the guard that, is the smartest of them all.
I am Gaston,
this is what happens in real life. Keep in mind that's not a real gun.
Yes, it is.
Ow! Okay. So
I love razor blades.
I'm Sam Fisher. There you go. I just taught my opponent how to armor and an Anyway, so this is what happens when you come up to an edge. You're sitting there on the edge, and then you climb through the window in front of somebody right here, and you pull out your pistol, and you're just sitting there. In real life, what happens is this. Now I'm dead. In Splinter Cell, this is what happens.
Oh, cool looking knife you have there. Ooh, I'm going to tickle your finger. I'm going to walk this way now.
That's exactly how game logic works in Splinter Cell. You love your job right now. Anyway, so you're out. So with Splinter Cell logic, the way things work is
and the worst of them all.
Yes.
Skyrim.
Skyrim makes no sense, but we're about to touch on that here in a second. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Big, creepy, old guy in a giant black suit with, like, sonar goggles, like these giant bulbs the size of like bowling balls just jumps into your
He's
window.
got them boulder holders in his pants.
Just freaking jumps into the window, pulls out a pistol. You're standing right there, and he's like,
Sup, bro?
sorry, wrong room. Turns back around, jumps through the window. You can still see his giant Spider-Man hands on the windowsill. And you're like, must have been the wind. Okay, bye. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Hope I don't die later.
Coffee.
Like, it makes no sense. And, like, during the blacklist, they're wondering why they're losing. It's because all of their men are idiots. Like, what's that weird sound? Better go investigate. No, better not tell my buddies that I'm gonna end up going missing. Makes no sense. Like, instead of, guys, I got a weird sound over here in Sector 5 near, near the Alpha Sector.
Since
Instead,
when is Alf in Splinter Cell? Alien life form. Old
that's
TV
what the
show.
blacklist was all about.
Illuminati confirmed.
Anyway, so instead of doing the sensible thing and contacting more people to, raise suspicion, they're like,
Nope.
that's basically what happens.
Nope.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just, stop it. He's just sitting there, and you're like, now I can shoot him. I remember playing Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow on PlayStation 2, and after you pick the lock to a door at a house, you go through a few areas, and the first guy that you get to attack, you have this small little club, almost, and there's these 2 fences, and you can run in there and smack him across the face. He's sitting in a chair, just like, and you just run up and you're just like, that's, if I remember correctly, that's the animation, just, and then he's just knocked out, pretty much dead. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I think Splinter Cell's had enough.
Yeah, Splinter Cell's had enough. We
time
understand.
for Skyrim.
We understand that, like, the only logical thinking person in this game is obviously the player, Sam Fisher. Everyone else, you might as well be fighting a wall, because the wall at least can hold something up. Stop it.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
They're holding things up.
So they're holding
So you're holding something up there, buddy.
I mean, unless if it's a girl. I mean, I guess she could too.
Anyway, so we're gonna move on to Dying Light, where things aren't.
We already did Dying Light.
Yeah, but
we're on to Skyrim.
We're gonna. Oh, well, okay, yeah, why not? Because there was still.
Because I like to shoot a bow over here. And he's like, "What the fuck was that?"
Oh yeah.
It must have been weird.
Yeah. Skyrim. Sneaking logic.
Coffee.
You're running around, and then like, out of nowhere, this really weird, bearded guy with the giant horns on his head, looks like probably a I don't know, gay Celtic dancer or something, somebody called a stripper, runs up there to Bleak Falls Barrow, and he's just like, and some guy just gets an arrow, he sits there like,
Did I get bit by a mosquito? Funny, I didn't know.
Some guy over here, he's like, "Hey, John, there's an arrow in your head."
Steve!
Wasn't that always there? I don't know.
Steve!
Okay.
Steve! Steve!
Steve.
Steve!
Steve.
Steve!
Alan.
Steve!
Alan.
Alan!
Charlie.
What?
What?
Ender?
Yeah? I can't hear you. It's too bright in here.
I can't hear you. It's too dark in here.
It's retarded. Anyway, but Skyrim, you make no sense. Also, like, the Dragonborn, how does he become like, the way Dragonborn works is that he's half human, half dragon. Well, not necessarily. He has the blood of a dragon.
No, he has the soul of a dragon.
So, in other words, at some point in time, his mother, most likely Isolde, was anally raped by Alduin.
No. Everybody knows that the Dragonborn's mother would obviously be the lusty Argonian maid.
I was thinking Lydia, but yeah, the lusty Argonian maid, that works too. She was a hooker, after all.
No, she was a maid, obviously.
She was a slippery snake, after all.
Polish the sphere real good.
Anyway. She was a slimy leech, after all. Anyway. So, but it makes no sense. Like, this guy who's just found walking across the border, nobody even explains where he comes from. He's just found on the border.
He's holding his balls and a stick in his hand.
Yeah, he's just like walking out of the bushes like, what do I do now with this? The Stormcloaks come by and like, oh, some guy that gets part of the plan of what we're doing. And then like, they're all running around with like the swords sticking out of their crotch, thinking that they're stroking each other off. And the Imperials are kind of weirded out by it. And they're like, someone ought to do something about this.
We gotta kill this off before it
Yeah.
spreads.
Like, that's a problem. So then, like, they run in there, and Ulfric, like, the head of the gay Stormcloak orgy, is like, hey,
Grabbed by his
they're
perky
coming!
ass and put in the execution
What did
platform.
you just say?
Grabbed by his perky ass and put in the execution platform.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like, General Tullius is like, what you're doing is wrong, and then, like, Ulfric is like, and then blows a big spoofy load all over the horse's face. And just for that alone was enough to be executed in Skyrim. Like, if you go around...
You don't even want to know what he did to the king.
Yeah, it wasn't a king, it was just a general.
No, it was the king of Skyrim.
Oh, yeah.
High King of Skyrim.
He made noises, and he just collapsed on the floor, dead.
He followed the guy around everywhere. He's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, like, but like one day, like, it went too far, and he went, oh yeah! And like,
He
he
shouted
died
it.
of a heart attack, and like, awkwardness at the same time, like, he was slightly aroused, but at the same time not. And he's like, ugh!
He was
And then he falls
experiencing
over.
too many feelings.
This went from Ken Friendly to like average faders and like that. Anyway, so then your character has noticed that he's wearing nothing, which is why they put him in the rags instead of a Stormcloak outfit. He's riding down a cart with a
Hey.
bunch of people.
It's cold outside. Sometimes you gotta cover up them coffee balls. before-
Wait a minute, I realized it wasn't the Dragonborn who blew the big spoofy load all over the
No, it
horse's
wasn't the
face.
Dragonborn. It was Ulfric Stormcloak.
No, it was the horse thief.
Who?
The horse thief.
No!
From, what's it called? You know what I'm talking about? Everstead, I think is where it's from.
Rorikstead.
Rorikstead, yeah. Rorikstead. I'm from
No,
Rorikstead.
No. Ulfric Stormcloak blew it all over the horse's face while the horse thief got him from behind.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So, like, Ulfric's
Fucking
more...
lords.
Keep in mind that, like, we're only bashing the Stormcloaks so that we make people mad. Like, honestly...
I think we would make more people mad if we insulted the Imperials.
No! Because, like, a lot of people go for the Stormcloaks because they're like...
Actually,
the
you'd be
Stormcloaks
surprised how many people go for Imperials.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, maybe there's, like, a bunch of gays out there who like the Imperials, and they're like, hey, I'm into giant orgy piles and horse people.
There is one girl.
What do you say about that?
One girl in the entire Imperial camp.
You know, he's right.
That is one big ass gangbang.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, the Stormcloaks, there's a lot of women. It's not just one woman.
They are
There's a
sexist.
lot of them. So no, like, so actually, I take it all back. The Stormcloaks were actually straight, because you do find a lot of women over there at the camp whenever you do get arrested. These guys, the Imperials, are all gay. and the one woman keeps them all in line.
With a big strap on.
Yeah, like that's what it is. The big horse dildo.
Yeah.
That she straps onto
It's
her forehead.
It's not even human.
Yeah.
It's like a gigantic troll.
Yeah, like shoved on there to her giant head like a unicorn.
And then she's got a dragon one on her forehead.
Yeah. It's like a dragon unicorn.
Talk about headbanging. Double meaning. Deuce.
$200,000 whoever comes and shoots me.
I'll do
I'm
it right
kidding.
now.
But you won't get any money. Anyway, that's a joke.
Okay, on to our next topic.
Yeah.
Furry porn.
I love how we actually kind of led to that. Like, first it was
Well,
gay
I mean,
orgies, and then imperial
could
orgies,
get in on that too.
and then like, yeah. So then there's like Khajiit orgies, which is the same as furry porn. So then like,
what about Argonians?
with
would
like
would they be in
with
furry?
like imperial women with like horse and dragon dildos headbanging, gay imperials. So just straight up, all right, now let's talk about furry porn.
Wait, is an Argonian technically a furry or is it not?
Yeah,
Because their scales, they're scaling.
it doesn't
not
matter.
furry.
It doesn't matter. Like
They're
there's
scaly, not
dragons.
furry.
There's dragons and there's snakes and turtles. If it's an animal, somebody wants to rape it.
I don't.
I don't either. I mean, I'll admit I appreciate the artwork, but not that artwork. Like, we'll say it like this: some furry chick dressed up in, you know, a leather jacket, like that looks pretty cool. But like some furry chick dressed up in not a leather jacket and not anything else, licking like this old turtle penis, like that, no, it's not okay. And I don't dress in furry suits. I think it's very well done on how you can draw very well combining an animal and a person at the same time. It takes a little bit of artistic skill.
I can't go any farther.
I know, there's a wall there. There's a door there, but you have to get, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Furry porn is just no.
yeah, furry porn's just no. No. Like,
Or
if you're on Pornhub, like, there's a million different things you can watch that's even kind of weird.
I can get the different species of races and crap
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
like that's, yeah,
Because I mean, in games they're kind of cool to play.
yeah. And like there's even some storylines where like furry is actually like kind of cool in some instances, but like when it's kind of overdeveloped and you're just sitting there and like all the characters are furry and there's no humans ever, where it's like a furry alternate dimension, that just makes no sense. But like in Undertale for example, where there's humans and monsters, like that would explain furry. And so like, what's her face? Toriel. Toriel and them, like they're part lamb and part person, technically. Like they kind of fall under the classification of furry. So in actuality, like furry fanboys would like go, like you lose their freaking mind if Toriel in the flesh ever walked up to him and been like, "Do you know where it is where I can find some butterscotch and cinnamon?" They'd be like,
They would be so happy they would stick their thumbs right up their bum.
"Yeah."
And
And
then
then-
they'd be like stroking it while they did it.
No, like they would ask Toriel, like, "Yeah, it's right here. Come get some." Which do you prefer, butterscotch or cinnamon?
They'd-
Never mind, you're gonna take both.
He's obsessed with this.
That's so funny.
He's fucked up.
Only slightly. But yeah, but furry porn, no. But like the furry artwork that's not porn or hentai, just regular artwork. So like anime artwork that doesn't look retarded or perverted, and then converting it to furry, that's kind of okay. But like some lesbo furry stripper who wasn't furry,
A teeny weeny bikini.
yeah,
Like, barely
And-
covering
and-
the tips of her nipple.
and she's like, "Hi, you want to come play volleyball with me and my girls?" And you're like, "I'm Jeff."
Hey,
Oh,
I'm a
it's a-
fidget spinner.
I'm a fidget spinner. And she's like, "Of course you do. Come on." And she like grabs you by your penis and just pulls you
Ow!
over.
That would fucking hurt.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're gonna resist. You're probably gonna
I
go with
would.
it. Well, I probably would too if some stranger with like these giant boobs just like grabbed me by the tip of my penis and started leading me around. But it's not like you're gonna be like, "No, you can't have it." Like, you're probably gonna
Yes,
get.
I would be.
Well, you're probably gonna get your penis ripped off if you just like thrust backwards. Like, it makes more logical sense to like sock him across the face.
I got taser. I was just like taser.
Shoot him
boobs.
with the Nerf gun.
Taser in the boobs.
This is why we can't have Nerf gun control. In that instance, when I am raped by a furry porn stripper,
He's
I can
gonna
shoot
grab
them.
a big shark and shove it over her.
I thought you were gonna go with grab a big load of titties or something. I don't know. That's what I thought you were going with. Like, you grab me, I'll grab you. Let's just see how this goes through. But don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Ah! Alright, so anyway, but yeah, so, circle game, circle on, gotta catch them all, what is it,
Oh, Rick and Morty.
Nerf gun control,
Let's talk about Rick and Morty.
hold on, Nerf gun control, no, that's retarded, Nerf for life, right, Charlie, Nerf for life,
Pew pew. Oh wait.
yeah, Nerf for life, and then, what was, furry porn, no, game,
God dang it.
Imperial and Stormcloak orgies. No. Skyrim logic, which plays into that because Lydia will go on either side. No.
Don't invite Lydia.
So
to
now
anything.
Rick and Morty. I haven't been able to see a lot of Rick and
You
Morty.
forgot the furry.
I already mentioned furry porn. I talked about furry porn before I talked about the Imperial and Stormcloak orgy. Don't shoot my laptop.
I shot over it.
I know.
Did you trying to make me hit it?
Maybe. Maybe I wanted you to. Anyway, so Rick and Morty. Charlie, you're really gonna have to lead this one because I don't really know a lot about Rick and Morty. Now calm down. I see you in the comments over there. Break your keyboard in half. You don't need it anymore. So, for Rick and Morty, like, I've seen the first episode. I kind of get the concept with the whole Jessica. Like, I got that part. Furry. Nerf gun control.
Imperial orgy.
Stormcloak orgy. I love how you went with the gay one and I went with the straight one. Like, well, not necessarily, because it originally started out gay, but then we converted it to straight, and then we found out that, like, Imperials weren't even into it, and then, like, suddenly they became gay and got into a bunch of orgies. That's what the entire war is just a big orgy. And you gotta figure out where your character sits. Like, do I go with the Stormcloaks?
Or can I go with the old graybeard
Do I
guys?
go with the Stormcocks, or, the Raperials? I went too far. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick. Yeah.
That's pretty much all I see.
Tickle my pickle Rick.
Hey, why'd you do that, Rick?
Why'd you do that, Rick?
Because I'm a fucking pickle, Morty. Why else would I do it?
That's true. So the first episode of Rick and Morty I thought was quite interesting.
I don't even watch the first episode.
You never even seen the first episode? Really?
Saw the one where he turns into Pickle Rick.
That's all you've seen?
Yep. Well, I seen one more. One where he's like Mad Max and all that good
So you're telling me that, like, I've seen one episode of Rick and Morty, which is the episode you haven't seen. I haven't seen any other ones. And you've seen 2 episodes of Rick and Morty that I haven't seen, but no other ones.
Yep.
So then, like, if we shared information, then technically we know of 3 episodes of a giant franchise of Rick and Morty. Stop it. Like, that doesn't even make any... Alright, so the first episode of Rick and Morty.
We can anime rant.
That's true, we could anime rant. So, like, I don't classify Rick and Morty as an anime. I honestly classify it as an adult cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a cartoon.
I don't even watch much anime.
Yeah, it's like a bar tune, you know, something like a couple guys be like, this is pretty funny in a bar when they're like blackout drunk. But, like, not when it's SpongeBob, because then they take the bottle that's empty, they throw it at the TV, and they pull a knife out, and they're like, if you don't turn the TV off, I'm going to stab you, and I'm going to take all your beer. Do you understand?
He's gonna
turn
like,
it off. Yeah, and they, like, slip over because he's blackout drunk, and, like, stab him in the chest. It's like, I wish I wouldn't watch SpongeBob. That or, fuck you, Nickelodeon. I wish I had Cartoon Network. Anyway, so, speaking of Cartoon Network, we'll go over Adult Swim. Speaking of Adult Swim, now we can transition to,
Toonami.
I was gonna go with anime rant.
Toonami does anime.
So, let's talk about, a lot of people say that Naruto is overrated. I actually disagree. I say...
It kinda is
it's
overrated. It repeats a lot, if you think about it.
We'll go with this. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, honestly, were classics. They were very popular back when they first came out.
Dragon Ball Z was a classic, even though I still hate it. I don't care what you think.
I'm with you.
Dragon Ball sucks. Like, whenever it takes 4 episodes to fucking charge a spirit bomb,
yeah, like the most powerful human being known to man in Naruto, with basically the almost unlimited power.
Let's see who has the worst fillers out of the 2.
Fillers? I think, honestly, Naruto had a lot of fillers, including the fighting. Like, they explained everything they did, but the plot and the story was very well designed, and the characters were all very important.
Dragon Ball Z, just like, I'm gonna charge this for 3 episodes for dramatic effect, and it's overrated.
Yeah.
And then...
They does do it.
What about the episode that Goku gets his license? He gets a driver's license.
What's the point? He's Goku.
There's no point. At all. It's just a filler episode. Nothing but filler.
That's retarded. Like, you're a freaking... You're saying you don't need to drive.
You can fly!
You can fly! You don't need a freaking driver's license. No cop's gonna pull you over, especially if you're drinking and flying.
I don't know, the air marshal might.
Well, yeah, he might pull you over in like his private little jet and be like, "Sir, do you know how fast you were going? I'm pretty sure you're drinking and flying."
I was going like Mach 4.
You can't prove that, sir. You're flying in circles right now. You can't prove that either. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna look at you and be like, that dude's flying through the sky. I'm pretty sure they're gonna say, what the fuck is that ape doing up in the mid-air with the freaking long tail? Like, that makes no sense. Like, no one's gonna question that you're people that's flying. The long tail explains that you are now some sort of chimpanzee or monkey flying.
It's even worse on some of the episodes, because he's the most powerful person in like the entire thing.
Yeah.
And he needs to learn to drive a car. Does he have one of the little smart cars?
Takes 4 episodes. Hang on, this is meme material. Alright, take a picture of Goku. This may already exist, probably.
Hold on. I'm gonna make everyone hate me for a minute. SpongeBob would win in a fight between Goku and...
Oh yeah, SpongeBob wins in a fight against basically any anime. Just because he can't die.
He's tickled by
He can't die.
punches. Just like bam, bam,
There's
bam.
episodes. There was an episode of SpongeBob where like Squidward like he got cut in half by a spatula, and he started walking around on one leg, smiling,
He's
laughing.
invincible.
There was that one point where like he started cloning himself of it. It was stupid.
Not to mention
So, like,
he can manifest anything out of bubbles.
Yeah, and teleport. You can teleport.
Yeah, he can teleport too.
He also puts crack cocaine in that Krabby Patty.
No, he just.
It's crack cocaine.
Yes.
Squidward, freaking Slender Man there, but underwater, sitting there like,
Slender Squid.
Sorry. I hate Krabby Patties. I got a giant penis on my nose, but it's floppy because of my stupid erectile dysfunction.
Wait, if he did that, does that mean they would make the sound when he walks? Probably.
Circle game.
Circle game. Squidward, no! Squidward, yes. Hey, we just got off of anime, so then here, tentacle porn.
Oh God. You might as well just shut it off right now.
Yeah, just turn it off.
I wouldn't even watch this.
Yeah, just turn it
I
off.
don't want to even discuss this,
Yeah,
but
just turn it off.
this sicko here,
Just turn it off.
he likes it.
So in Dragon Ball, you talk about how it takes 4 episodes to charge like this super powerful attack that would be able to basically rupture the universe as we know it.
Well,
Why don't they just run up there and like punch him in the face? Here, come here.
Better yet, punch him in the nuts.
Yeah,
Just,
or like grab him
bam!
by the tail. Like, what's he gonna do? Blast you? Nope. 3 more
What you gonna
episodes
do
to
with
go.
that big fat butt?
Bring that
Wiggle,
cup
wiggle,
over here.
wiggle.
I didn't spit in his coffee. You never spit in somebody's coffee. That's not okay.
Especially not mine.
Especially not anybody's. Coffee is sacred.
It is the holy liquid of this land.
You know how like the Stormcloaks like drink like their sacramental semen? Like, so if SpongeBob and Goku were to fight, so like who would actually win? Like, because if you obliterate SpongeBob, and even
He's
like
been
down to
turned
ash, well, like even
He
the
comes
ash,
back.
even the ash.
He comes back.
Well, I guess you can't think of it logically, because like he turns into ash underwater. Like he's caught himself on fire underwater. He can cook things on a very hot grill underwater.
And he
Yeah.
can go infinite hands. So.
Yeah, infinite anything really.
And he can control his hands whenever they're off of his body. That must be kind of.
What does a
weird.
sponge look like whenever it's first taken out of the water?
Like a sponge.
Kind of like that color, right? Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. So then, when you safely say that any dildo ever created was basically SpongeBob's penis at some point? That's how they're mass producing dildos, guys. Like, quit making your child watch SpongeBob. That's not a nose, okay?
Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Just don't use a cactus. That would hurt so much.
I don't think you understand what I just did.
Spat. Oh, your coffee.
There's a lot of people watching this right now that actually understand what I just did. After what you just said. Now you understand! Whatever, I'm straight. And it was used by a female, so. Shh. What?
The only one that could have used it is your mom.
While you sat there and watched. With SpongeBob laughing in the background.
No.
Yeah.
I have my own life. I don't know about you.
I have no life. Okay, so Goku the anime, not Goku the character, versus Naruto the anime.
In a
Which
fight?
no, no, just like comparison, like which is better.
I don't know. The only part about Naruto that I liked was the freaking 7 swordsmen.
Yeah,
Those-
that was kind of cool.
Those guys were freaking badass.
But I feel like with any anime, really, they add too many important characters. It
And
feels
then they
like
kill them.
it feels like every time.
episode.
Yeah, every episode, somebody dies who's important that was loved. So like Itachi Uchiha, like I love Itachi, like he's pretty cool. I don't love Itachi,
He's gay.
no, but
Seriously gay.
no, I'm not.
Incest gay.
I thought Itachi was a cool character, especially what he did for the Hidden Leaf Village. But I think that he could have been a better character if he hadn't have been killed by somebody who was a spoiled brat who was going around, no one loves me, not even my brother, so I'm gonna murder him.
Gara?
He killed my entire family, even though he loves me, so now I'm gonna murder him.
Naruto?
So I don't have anybody else who loves me.
Sakura.
Sasuke, but close. They're equally as useless. I mean, Sasuke didn't have the balls to kill what's her face.
Oh, no. We want to talk about some huge ass titties. Tsunade.
You want to talk about some huge ass titties? Remember that furry girl? Do they even have any Nikos in Naruto? I don't think they did.
When she walks, it goes.
Other than the Baiju, of course, but like that doesn't count because it's just a chakra manifesting.
Well,
Baiju.
of course, not every anime has to have a Nico.
And I agree to
freaking
that.
furry pervert.
No, but I think they did a wonderful job at Ruby. Not
R-
not the Nico.
RWBY is
Was awesome.
yeah.
And honestly though, like I'm kind of furry, but like my favorite character honestly was Yang Xiaolong. Like she was awesome.
Ruby
He likes Ruby.
or Blake.
Blake is the Nico.
I don't care.
So now we're the ones taking over to the furry over here.
I'm not. No,
No.
I'm not a furry.
She's got cat ears, freaking
I'm
cat
ex-
hands, and a tail. And Charlie's like, I'm out. Anyways, like, as far as Ruby goes, like, alright, so let's discuss Ruby. Like, this has gone for almost an hour now. Let's discuss Ruby. I honestly think...
I'm pretty sure everybody's left by
Dude,
now.
it's like 9 o'clock. We could do, like, 3 more videos. This is cool.
We need to get more people to rant with us.
You know what I think we should... You know what, guys? I think this is good enough to go out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Personally. Let's... Honestly...
I mean, even though it was supposed to be a practice
I'm just
video.
saying, this was supposed to be a practice video, but I personally believe that we got enough...
If you subscribe 100, or if 100 people subscribe, I'll twist his nipples.
Please, no.
But if 200 people subscribe, I won't twist his nipples.
Please subscribe to 200. Please.
Save the man!
Please! I'm not Jacksepticeye. I don't like being twisty nipple fresh.
At least you're not average baiters. I mean,
Yes.
puckered penis and dusty nipple.
Dusty nipple. The only reason it's dusty because he doesn't like twisting his nipples either.
Yeah.
He worries too much on baiting and not enough on the twisting. I honestly...
I don't know. He might twist down there.
Let's discuss about how he's funny and not about what he does in his spare time. Please? So, I honestly think that average baiters, if you guys don't know who that is, look up average space baiters, kind of like,
Average masturbators.
no,
except
not
for
like
masturbators.
masturbators, kind of like, I don't remember, so we're just gonna have to go masturbators.
Average baiters. Fallout 4
Average
mods.
debaters, like debaters, except without the duh in it. So baiters.
Duh, bruh.
Duh, bruh. Take out the duh in it. You get baiters, bruh. Anyway, he does a lot of Fallout and Skyrim mod showcases, but that's not all
Oh,
he
and
does.
GTA for all you GTA.
Yeah. He does like a lot of mod reviews for a lot of games. There's some games that were like on Xbox, I think like Xbox 360 that he did. Like there's some
No,
games.
he didn't do any Xbox 360. He did Xbox. He does Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4 sucks ass.
Yeah, PlayStation sucks. There's like a lot of PlayStation fanboys sitting in there now. Like, hey, PlayStation isn't that bad, but honestly,
Yes, it is. It is extremely
like,
bad.
hang on, PlayStation, slow down with the VR. I don't want to buy a game, and then you're like, you can play VR with it too. I don't care. I really don't care. I play Skyrim in 3D.
Okay,
I don't want to play
would be
VR
cool.
3D.
It would be cool to play Fallout 4 in VR.
There are some games that are pretty cool in VR. Not Grand Theft Auto. That's kind of retarded. Because the whole time you're just looking at the back of some black guy's head.
Not if you're Trevor.
Didn't I just say black guy's head?
Trevor's not black.
But keep in mind, I never played GTA in my life.
He's a nerd.
I am but anyway. But, like, still, like, 90% of the game is in third person.
You can set it to where it's first person.
But, like, by default, it comes in third person.
Yeah.
There's way better games you can make, like, what is it? Prey. Prey would make an amazing VR game after people find out that it's an amazing game in itself.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's would be an okay VR
I think
game.
it would be pretty cool.
It would be alright. The jump scares would be a lot better. Especially if it was a 3D game. Like, if it was a 3D VR game, that would be perfect. And the new Five Nights at Freddy's, where, like, you can kind of look around at different things, different stuff like that, interact with an animatronic and, like, test it, zap it with a taser, stuff like that. That's really cool. But, like... Oh, and Five Nights at Freddy's 4, where you can actually, like, crawl around, and, like, open the doors, stuff like that. That's pretty
Freddy's
cool.
4 is my all-time favorite.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is pretty
Hands
cool.
down.
Yeah. So, keep an eye out. We're going to pretty much end the video off here. But keep an eye out for our next video, which is coming out very soon. It's Cards Against Humanity, uncensored, untamed. We're going to try to go through as much of the black deck as we possibly can. And it's the normal set. So, like, it's going to be a deck like that's all. We're going to try to go through it as much as we possibly can. And we're just going to keep stacking the white cards, so we'll use... the objective is not to use as many cards as you can, but as many black cards as you can. So that you can get through everything, the entire game.
Alright, I'm going to ask you guys to slap that like button on the ass. And
Maybe make it squeal, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're not into that, and you're into a Stormcloak straight orgy, or an Imperial gay orgy, whatever you prefer. It can't be lesbian, though, because the lesbians control the gay orgy of the Imperials.
And not only that, but you gotta grab that subscribe button by the hips and pull it forward.
Yup. And if you leave a penis imprint on your screen, don't tell your mom it was us, because it wasn't us.
Nope.
That was you.
I didn't do it. It was all him.
Yeah. Oh, and my girlfriend, if you're watching, please don't. Never mind.
Which one?
Yeah, that's a good question.
1, 2, 14, 8.
How did I suddenly, like, lose? What, 6?
I don't know.
How did I suddenly lose a... No, I'm not saying that word. Quite a few.
I don't know.
Did I suddenly, like, die? That didn't make any sense. Anyway, now this video's drug onto an hour, and I've, like, not any space on my laptop, so... Hello, we're gonna go.